Good evening, everyone. And we're going to wait for a few minutes for people to come into this live. I just want to take a few minutes to make some statements about our fight for justice for Semaj Crosby. So give it a few minutes. We're going to wait, and I won't take up a lot of time. See if we could get some more people on live here. Let's see. Just give it a few more minutes and we'll go ahead and get started. Appreciate everybody just being patient. Few more minutes. So I wanted to thank everybody who's watching the live. Over the course of the last few weeks, let's say 6 to 8 weeks, this is about justice for Semaj Crosby. There have been a lot of concerned folks who have been on the ground, and we fought very hard for justice for Semaj. Concerned members of the community, people who have stood the test of time since day one. I have not, my organization hasn't. We've joined them. They fought very hard for justice for this 16-month-old baby who was murdered. And the actual murder was the last week of April in Joliet Township, Illinois, for those around the country who are not familiar with it. We supported that action team, and the one who stands out the most, and we're not excluding anybody's effort because there's a lot of groups that have been out there. I'd say the one that stands out the most or amongst the most was the Justice for Semaj Action Team, a group of young ladies, a group of young women who I commend 100%, men and women, who I commend 100% for their actions. Their actions since day one has not only been consistent, but it's helped over the course of the last 6 to 8 weeks. 6 to 8 weeks, we strategized together and we've changed the dynamic of this case. When I say we've changed the dynamic of this case, through public information sessions, through media sessions, keeping the public informed, community rallies, we've changed the dynamic of this case. Meaning that an example of that would be the coroner a week ago released the actual results of the child's murder, which was a suspected death. Now it's been ruled a homicide. And I would like to say it's a result of the folks on the ground, including the action team, with assistance from Freedom First International, its executives, members of the community, concerned family members who have been on the ground, and we can't exclude. There are concerned family members. There are family members who cared about this baby, who wanted to see what happened with this baby and wants to make sure this baby receives justice. We are saying very clearly that we've been on the ground working since day one to ensure that this baby's life, this baby's name is cleared, and this whoever did this heinous, tragic thing to this baby, it's been brought to justice. So I want to say very clearly that folks who are coming in to support, I've made it clear, the folks on the ground have made it clear that we don't mind anyone supporting Justice for Semaj because it's a community action. We can't say we don't need this person in or we don't need that person in, because that's not how we work. Advocacy is about justice, and it takes the community to come together and provide justice. But what we don't need innuendo. We don't need anyone bringing confusion. We don't need lies or provocation. And that's been where I've stood since day one. We have been working on the ground since day one, working with the family. Family members have been part of the some Justice for Semaj action team. And they have been concerned. But let's say this. What has to happen is that there are also officials on the ground. This is also a murder or homicide investigation. And let's be honest, not everybody knows how to deal with that. So basically, because people don't know how to deal with that, people don't understand, they have to get up to a balance. And I guarantee you, a lot of the folks, if they knew then what they knew now, a lot of their actions would have changed. But as a result of 6 to 8 weeks, I can honestly tell you, because I've been on the ground, and I'm not saying it's a result of my actions. I'm saying this is a result of a community effort. There is a change in this case. So when someone says that there has been no movement in this case, then I'm going to say that because they said that, because I feel like that is an assault on everybody who's worked very hard in this case, who's worked very hard to change the position of this case, and who's worked very hard to make sure that this baby's life is avenged. That is a no-go. That is wrong, and that's incorrect. What we feel, and the basic stance that we've had, is if you want to support. You don't need anybody to endorse you to go out and fight for a child who has been murdered, because most people that I know would commend that. That's a commendable action. So get on the ground and start working. You don't have to prove yourself to anybody. And that's the statement that I made to the activists who feel like they were coming in. Just go and do it. Don't ask for nobody's permission. Sure, you should talk to the family and get their position and see what their needs are and see how you can support them. You should always do that, but get out there and work. Protest, rally. One thing that I don't like to see, and I mean, sometimes it's very necessary, is I don't like to see, if you're doing civil disobedience, I don't like to see young people going to jail when it's unnecessary, because if they go to jail, then they get a criminal record, and that record stays with them, and you can't get that expunged. Now they have to fight court cases. If you're not going to be able to help them, provide them for legal support and help them fight these cases, they don't need to go to jail. So all of these things provide confusion, and it takes away from where we're trying to go, which is the mission of the case. Now, take it from somebody who has been involved in civil rights for the better part of 20 years, who's trained. My degree is criminal justice, who knows. I'm going to tell y'all that we need to be able to be more strategic about the way that we fight these cases. We can't just be out there just willy-nilly. We can't be out there on passion, and we definitely can't be out there jeopardizing people, jeopardizing some of these folks, and they're going to jail for what? There's a time for civil disobedience, but there's a time that we have to go back and we have to support peacefully. So when I say that confusion, and I was very specific to the organizer who said that, hey, 5 months and there's been no movement on this case, I'm going to say that pretty much that's a lie. I'm going to say that again, that there have been people on the ground who have been working very hard to ensure that this baby's name is brought to justice. I'm going to say with all surety that they will definitely debate that point with you. But like we've always said, our focus is on justice for Semaj Crosby. And that's what we've done. So what I am saying at this point is, I am saying very clearly that we need to stay focused on Semaj. There have been some allegations about me, my organization, about some of my officers, and even folks in the community who have worked very hard to provide justice for this child. And what I say is all of that adds to the confusion. And that is one thing that we don't need. So going back to my original point, when we started, that confusion is unnecessary. That confusion is not where we should be as a community. And anybody who knows me knows that that's not the way that I get down. So for the folks who have spread some of the rumors, spread some of the innuendo, I'll tell you what, there is a community who's hurting. Put some of that energy into helping them through their pain. There's a father whose child was murdered, but I've heard nothing but innuendo about him. Rumors about him saying that he did this and did that. From our point, we're trying to support that young man who's confused right now, who's going through a flurry of emotion. Nobody can prove that he did anything wrong, because if he was able to be proven that he did anything wrong, he would be behind bars. So why aren't we supporting that young man in his effort and his suffering? For those who are throwing stones, that's not helping the case out at all. And if you say that you're about justice for Semaj, then I say put your energy into showing and proving that you're about justice for Semaj Crosby. I organized an interview with WGN 2 weeks ago with the father of Semaj, which aired last night. But there's an organizer who said that as a result of their actions, Semaj Crosby's father came forward. That claim is not truthful. That claim is a lie. So what we are saying simply is that I'm speaking to the truth. If you're going to speak facts to the matter. If you're going to work in sincerity. If you're going to work, you don't need the family to endorse you. If they want to endorse you, that's good and fine, good looking. Let's go make it happen. You don't need my organization. You don't need the action team. If they want to endorse you, let them endorse you. You don't need anybody. Just get on the ground and show and prove. But do not compromise people. Stop all the lying. Stop all the criticism. Stop all the innuendo. Stop all the back and forth, because all that's doing is really proving my point of this is somebody who is provocative minded, who brings confusion. You're proving me right. I don't have to say one thing. The only reason why I'm doing this live is because I want to set everybody straight. You'll never find me doing lives because I just don't do them. But justice for Semaj is what this is all about. So I welcome anybody who's going to bring positive and necessary change to justice for Semaj. I do not welcome provocative-minded individuals. And I did say that if anybody envelops my organization, which I worked since 2009 very hard to form, we've worked very hard on national cases from Tamir Rice, we've supported Alton Sterling, we've worked for civil rights around the country. If anybody's going to use our name in vain, if anybody's going to say false things about what I am, what we did, what we didn't do, then I would definitely make sure that you're going to be slapped with a lawsuit, a defamation of character lawsuit about me and my organization. That's just the plain truth. I'm protecting my interests. I'm protecting the people in my organization's interests, and I'm protecting the people around me, our interests. So thank you. We got to stop this negative. We got to stop this negativity, because it's eliminating positive messaging from where the case can go. Get on the ground, show and prove, do what you do. I don't have to like you. I don't have to love you. I don't have to get along with you. Do what you do for that baby if that's what you're going to do. But be honest and be sincere about what you're doing. And yes, if we continue working, we will have justice for Semaj. Here's one more update that I want to leave, and I think I'm done. We have an international expert as a result of our actions now who's coming into the case, a forensics expert. His name is Satish Shakur, who's very much involved. He's been on police brutality and police misconduct and even police murder cases from around the country. He's based out of the UK. You can look him up, Google him if you want. He's involved. He's wrote a statement. I'll publish that statement later on this afternoon or this evening. And here's my thing. That is about unity for our people. All of the confusion is unnecessary. All of the backlash. And I'll tell you what, I will be the first to stand against anybody who brings confusion. So if you think that that's what you're going to do, then fine, do it. Be my guest. But I'm sure in the end, you're going to see things my way, or you're going to wish you saw it my way. That's not a threat. It's just my commitment, because I believe in justice. I believe in sincerity, and we just don't need it for our community. Our community is already shredded and separated enough. So innuendo has to go. If anybody has anything they want to say about me, I'm a man of faith. I'm a proven man of God. If you have anything you want to say, I'm a proven civil rights leader. I'm a proven Chicagoan, born, bred, and raised in Chicago. Anything about the members of the action team, why don't you just talk to them about your concerns? Why do you have to make it public? That's defeating where this case should go. That's not about justice for Semaj. That's about you putting yourself on a platform. So I hope some of this has helped somebody. I'm going to continue to clear up where we're at, because I think it is necessary that the public knows that there is movement on this case, that we have supported justice for Semaj since day one, and we are supporting bringing whoever did this to justice. And we hope that our actions will cause whoever did this to come forward and say, hey, it's too much attention here. I need to do the right thing, and I need to come to justice. But at this point now, it's a two-way street, because there are people who are hurting through this whole circumstance, and we got to think about them. We have to stop and see and check on them, see how they're doing, and see how we can support them and support the community. Not tear the branches off the damn tree, but let's build the tree up. So that's all I have to say. Hopefully it was helpful. I appreciate everybody listening. I'm done. Peace.